So just a little bit about me. I am fairly new to LifeRing, so I've met most of you for the first time this weekend. My name is Jenny Sly. I was living in San Mateo, and I started going to the Burlingame meeting, and it's where I met Mary Beth, who's been a pretty big role in my recovery. This past August, I moved to Columbus, Ohio. My husband and I have a 2.5-year-old son. We wanted to be able to have a little bit more financial freedom, and it's kind of hard to do that in this area. So we're liking it so far in Columbus. I was attending meetings since September 2017. I did have a relapse somewhere in there about a few months in, and then ever since I've been sober since March 2018. So in the grand scheme of things, I am also immune to sobriety. And then as my day job, I'm a senior education program manager for an exam prep company. It's courses for engineers studying for their professional licensure exams. And then since October of last year, I've been volunteering as the fundraising chair for LifeRing. And part of that is obviously gathering funds, but I'm also really interested in really outreach to new members and getting more people in LifeRing, because that ultimately leads to more funds if we have more people in the organization. In my spare time, again, I have a family. I'm in an a cappella singing group. I joined when I moved to Columbus. I joined it to meet new people, but I also like to sing, and it's been really awesome. So I like doing that. I'm in the tenor group. I'm with the dudes. It's awesome. I'm the guy of the group that can hit the high notes still. And then I also really like fantasy football.
Really?
Yes, a little too much. Get a little competitive. Okay, so I have, obviously you can see it everywhere. Everyone knows what the 3 S's are: sober, secular, self-directed. And I really think these 3 areas, and as Marty was saying in his speech this morning, we are an extremely attractive organization for a lot of people. And I was talking to Lorraine actually earlier this week on the phone, and she had said something that really clicked with me, which was that LifeRing in a lot of ways is the best kept secret. And we even as Steve was going through the stuff on the website, we have so many resources and things for people that no one knows about. I'm in Columbus, there's no meetings. I was going to a Women for Sobriety meeting, and no one had heard of LifeRing, and there's just so much opportunity to really get the word out about what LifeRing is, and I think it would really connect the most out of a lot of the sobriety groups that I've researched. I think it would connect with the most amount of people. I have this little asterisk on the self-directed, not because of the self-help or whatever we're calling it. But yes, we're self-directed and we're self-empowered, but if people are coming to a group, it's, they couldn't do it on their own, and they are looking for that support from group members. And I think sometimes we can get into a cycle of, we want to be kind of hands-off and let people, come to sobriety, independently. And I still think that there is a lot of guidance that we can provide along the way. And I know, we do in meetings, but what I'm going to talk about in a little bit is really providing a sense of community and keeping in touch with members, say they're not showing up, checking in on them and not just kind of letting them float away into thin air. So that's why I have that self-directed there. It is self-directed, but we still want to provide the guidance and the structure of why people showed up to get into a group in the first place. So I have here, in the brochure it says I'm talking about youth outreach. It's not really specifically youth or younger people, but it's more about people that are newly sober. They're just starting out. A lot of times that could be younger people. But it's really about meeting new members where they are in their sobriety. So, if you show up to a meeting, a lot of people they know each other, or they've been sober for a while. They've been really far removed from those initial few months that are really hard in getting sober. So even if you, we've talked about not sharing war stories or stuff about how we used to drink. But I think in some cases, it's good to share those types of things with new members about what you struggled with when you first started getting sober. Because for me personally, like that's what I relate to the most. Again, I was in the Burlingame meeting, and for the first little bit, it was Mary Beth and a few other gentlemen that had been sober for at least a few years. And I found benefit in the meeting because it was almost like a free therapy session. Like I was mostly talking about my problems, but the other group members, it was mostly about, you know, what they did that week. And I did see that they were living normal, happy lives. But what I was personally missing in the meeting was like, what is your story and how did you first start out? And what did you struggle with? Because I wanted to be able to relate to those like beginning stages of sobriety. So that's what I mean by meeting new members where they are. Even if you find that you're having to repeat certain things, you know, if a new member comes one week and another new member comes the next week, just trying to find opportunities to sprinkle in those like beginning stage stories, I think could go a really long way in trying to like connect with new members. So this could be about your beginnings, even current struggles. Even if you've been sober for 20 years, like still bringing that up, you know, it's not all roses. And any tips you have, obviously, advice. And then really asking questions too. So yes, we go around the room and we ask how their week went, but just trying to guide the conversation too of asking questions to try to get people to open up a little bit more. Okay, so here I have a very large picture of people staring. So as far as like kind of, you know, I think in order for us to grow, we really have to create a better sense of community. Again, I know we're an anonymous organization. People don't have to give their contact information or even their names. But I think having that as if you'd like to, please give us your contact information. I think that's a good thing to do. This way, we can not only, you know, add them to the newsletter list or our email list, but also so we can stay in touch and check in with somebody if we haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. And we also have a better idea of, you know, how many members are even attending this group and who they are. So I think making some concerted efforts to really try to collect contact information and stay in touch and check in are all good. Going just a step further, you could even try to plan sober activities outside of the meetings for those that are interested. You know, just even meeting up for coffee, or there's a festival going on. Just, you know, I'm 33, and I personally find that there's not a ton of stuff that is going on that doesn't somehow revolve around alcohol. So I would love to personally go out and find activities where I know people aren't going to be drinking and they're like me. So if you could find, you know, opportunities to create fun things to do outside of the groups too. And then promoting online meetings for those, you know, there's still a lot of areas where LifeRing isn't available. So even, you know, those that reach out on the website to find a meeting, really just trying to push the online meetings as much as possible for those that either can't make the ones in their area because of schedule reasons, or we just don't have one in the area. And then as far as outreach goes, so what I was talking about with community and outreach before is more like once someone has already come to the meeting, how do we engage them and keep them there? This is more about new members that either don't know about us or have looked at our website and want to learn more. So as you know, Steve showed you, we have a new website coming that I love. I think it's going to do a lot of good for those that are just checking out LifeRing. I think it really showcases the important stuff up front, like right in your face. And then the social media project, as much as we can really be on social media. Again, it's about attracting new members, and that social media is a really good place to do that. And you can really try to segment, you can go look at specific groups on social media and do outreach through that as well. Online advertising, again, now we're getting more into like the marketing side of stuff, but there's so much opportunity to actually do like some paid advertising through Google search or Facebook ads or anything like that to try to target people to come check out LifeRing. Obviously, starting more meetings. So even like in your own area, like the Bay Area or Denver, if you're already running a meeting, but you can also do one on Fridays or Saturdays in a different location, 20 miles south, just trying to like branch yourselves out as much as possible and as much as that you can do to try to get more times, locations, dates that are going to be more available for more people. Following up more with those that are interested, so maybe they reached out initially, they never really showed up, or maybe they showed up one time. Again, just trying to keep engaged with people that showed an initial interest, because I mean, those are the people that need the most help as well. You want to be able to check in with them. I already talked about the promoting online meetings. And then just word of mouth. So any friends or family or anybody that, if anyone's talking to you about LifeRing, just, promoting as much as possible your positive experience that you had in the organization.
Question?
Yeah.
And you may be getting to it, so I apologize. I can be meetings at Kaiser and connecting with the staff. Hugely important, because that's what the people in the program look to for suggestions, and they suggest LifeRing.
Yeah.
As well as other things.
Yes,
so
connecting to the staff, absolutely.
I think that's really important outreach, because they're the people who direct.
Right, they're always going to be there. They're like the nucleus, and so
Right.
they're the ones that are actually attracting the members, and then
It's
as
worth
long
it
as
to
we
me to
have.
cultivate those relationships,
Yep.
for sure.
Definitely. And then I thought of this the other day, and I didn't know where else to put it, so I just have it here. But basically, whether you're at rock bottom or starting to descent, LifeRing can help. So I was talking to some people back there at lunch, and there's always, or at least when I've talked to people, there's this mentality that you have to reach some sort of rock bottom to get sober or to seek help. And there's just a lot of people that aren't there yet, and they don't know that they should get help now before they actually get there. So it's really about connecting with people that might not yet be at rock bottom. And I was one of those. My life was definitely going in that direction, but I didn't get, a DUI to like set me off or something that like, it was just one of those things where I was like, I know if I don't do something the next couple of years, like I'm gonna reach that area. And there's a ton of people that I think that message could really connect with, like don't get to rock bottom before you actually seek some help. Yeah.
I used to tell people in the meetings, your bottom is when you decide to stop your descent.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true.
That's where mine was.
Yeah. This is my graphic. You can't tell it's the United States. Okay, so I wouldn't be a good fundraising chair if I didn't talk about fundraising at the end of this. So again, I've been serving as a fundraising chair since October. And just for you guys, directly, and also like trying to promote this in your groups as well. Because you guys are the best, for conveners, what I specifically mean for conveners is you guys are the best liaison with members that we have. So the more that you are talking about LifeRing and the importance, and also like how we need money to grow as well, it's going to go a long way. So the ways that I have here, there's probably more, but the main ways of fundraising is obviously you can donate directly. There's monthly, recurring, or one-time donations. You can request donations in lieu of gifts, like Facebook has the, instead of giving, in lieu of gifts on my birthday, you can set up fundraising campaigns. I know I did that like for Christmas gifts this last year. I had family members donate to LifeRing because I didn't really want any Christmas gifts. But signing up for Amazon Smile, that's something that's super easy. You have to do it one time, and then when you log into Amazon, it's just, do you guys know what Amazon Smile, how that functions? Yeah. It's just a one-time setup, and then it's just easy money that comes in. It's passive money. You don't have to do anything after that. Every purchase you make.
So are we able to do that in LifeRing setup to be able to receive that money?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Encouraging book sales, especially the new book that just came out. Collecting contact information. Again, this just goes back to like really expanding, like our newsletter, our email list. It's not that extensive right now, and anything that we can do to collect contact information and keep people in the loop, so especially when we're having like fundraising drives at the end of the year or mid-year, it goes a long way. And then obviously donating your time. I mean, everyone here that's here today, I assume that you are very involved in LifeRing on some level. So this isn't really directed at you, but really, telling the people in your groups of different ways that they can help. They don't have the funds. Okay, I'm almost done here. So this is a slide that I actually had last year when I was doing a fundraising presentation for the board. And it's just kind of shifting, how we think about fundraising, and it's not just like a duty that we have to do at the end of the year, give money. It's more about, why give, go beyond asking for money. What does it go towards? What's the goal? Like, I tried to provide an update throughout of like where we were in our progress to try to get people more involved and excited about what we're doing. So again, publicizing the goal amount, we were really clear. We wanted to make $10,000, where we're at, what the money goes toward. Making it easy, so on your way out, like I had made it ways to help flyer for the last donation drive, which some of you probably saw. But it kind of covers the, here's the actual link for you to donate. Here's Amazon Smile, how to do it. So putting everything in one place, there's like 6 different opportunities on there and how people can, it looks like Robert's going to be passing some around. I don't have enough for everybody, but, and then putting a face to it. So again, this kind of goes back to like the Humanly Possible book. Like this kind of like, how has LifeRing changed your life? How can friends and family support? And then making it manageable, just even encouraging like $5 a month. I mean, that's like a cup of coffee. Like just trying to communicate that to members that like, you can just click this link really quick, put $5 in there, and next thing we know, we have $5 a month that we wouldn't have normally had.
I'm sorry, it takes a while to process. Going back to the ways to help flyer.
Yeah.
I did get that. It was not well set up for doing copying in black and white, which is a lot cheaper, takes a lot less money out of the funds.
I noticed that as I was printing something.
I was like, oh crap, I can't really translate this really well to black and white, or I would have done more.
Yes.
No,
I agree. The color of the orange and then the 2 pictures on top kind of made it.
well, and some of them didn't show up very well if you were
Okay.
to try and translate it, but
Yeah.
it's great flyer.
And then just spreading the word as much as possible. So I mean, social media, I'm a huge fan of. Website, personal outreach, any friends and family that you might know. If anyone wants the slide deck after this, here's my contact information. You can call or text or email me. I can send it to you. If you're interested in helping with membership, again, I'm not a membership chair, but I do think membership and fundraising they tie really closely together. And I want to start helping a lot in that regard too, as far as just not recruiting. Recruiting sounds so weird in this context, but letting people know that we exist so that they come to us. And then obviously if you want to help with fundraising, either by giving or if you have ideas, I know you have ideas about fundraising, I'm happy to hear them. Yeah, that's it. Robert, I think you passed around, but I have the Ways to Help flyer. I think I only printed off like 15 copies, but I can send it to anyone that wants it. And then any questions?
Is that email Jenny D13 or Jenny DL3?
Jenny D13
Okay, thank you.
at gmail.com.
I misguided the email because I didn't
Jenny
know
at
that.
LifeRing.org?
Oh yeah. Or you can do Jenny at LifeRing.org. Sorry, I'm so used to putting my personal email on there. Yeah, you can do this one. I'll respond to either. Or Jenny at LifeRing.org works as well. Any other? Yeah.
Lauren, was that your name? Laura?
Yeah.
We did some discussion a couple of years ago in San Francisco about trying to network amongst what we can call the low-hanging professional group, which is those professionals in the field that are receptive to other approaches, and try to always be attentive to listening for that from the folks who are involved in the community. They're the key informants that will go back up the chain to the professionals who want to develop other options. In a city of a couple million people, there will only be a very small professional community that are key influencers. And the more we can get to those folks, the better. We haven't done a very good job in San Francisco. I blame myself in part for that. But knowing that if somebody walks into the room and they've been told, come to this meeting because a professional has said, this may be for you, is a place where we can go talk to that person and they can influence their colleagues.
I always ask where our new people got the info. That tells me where I need to work and where I don't. Now, I know many, many years ago, some of you may remember, there was a PowerPoint presentation developed for professionals. Haven't looked at it recently, so it would have to be updated, but I'm wondering if that could be done.
Certainly.
You remember that PowerPoint?
It's on the website. It's on the website.
Yeah,
And yeah, it could be just.
and I downloaded it, and that's a nice thing professionals like to see.
The bones of it are still pretty good.
Okay,
But yeah, it could be updated.
so that's a good thing for conveners to know is that it's available
Sure.
for professionals.
PowerPoint experts?
I
wouldn't call
well-
myself an expert, but I did put this.
I actually, so I did some minor updating on the ones to put it on the new website, but it was more like, there was one that had our old address, and so I cleaned it up, but yeah,
I'm ashamed to say I haven't looked at it in years.
I can take a look at it. I can take a look. At
But I like the idea because professionals are just drawn to PowerPoints and just,
Yes.
they take us more seriously if we got a PowerPoint.
That's right. No, that's a good point.
If you use the word synergy somewhere in there too,
Yeah.
it's usually, you're good.
All right, this will.
I've also given some of those professionals that I know our books.
Yeah.
Let them see the bare bones. I make sure that they're supplied with the meeting lists and, you know, what to expect at a LifeRing meeting. All those little things make their job easier to recommend us.
Yeah.
Because they know what we're about.
I know the few times that I have met with a professional receptive to LifeRing, I always ask them, who else is like you? You know, who else what other colleagues do you have in other service providing agencies that are going to be receptive and want this information? That's very strategic and effective. We can show the presentation to 100 professionals now, and I would walk out of the room and use it versus, oh, this one's receptive, so let's.
Yeah, I agree. You might as well not waste your time with those who aren't interested anyway, right?
Or both.
Yeah.
I can put this thank you on any PowerPoint presentation. It's a nice little graphic. I use it for any presentation I give. My favorite part. Any other questions, Lauren?
I just have a comment. I want to thank you, Jenny, because if some of you may not know that last fundraising season was record-setting, and it's largely part of Jenny's efforts to get the words out in different ways, to get the word out about, you know, getting people to support the cause that's helped them. Thanks, Jenny.
Nice.